All right, so I'm going to try to find this ad, and then I'm going to introduce you on here. Is that okay?
Okay.
You don't mind me asking you some questions?
No, I got to go to court day after tomorrow anyway.
For what? What are you going to court for?
An open container in front of Winn-Dixie.
In front of Winn-Dixie, an open container. Really? Did they handcuff you and everything for that?
No.
Well, that's good. They know you around here, right?
I know all the veteran police that I know down here don't mess with me.
Okay.
It's the rookies that I have trouble with.
The rookies. What do they do different?
Well, they just try to hem me up. And then...
In what way?
Well, just harass me like I'm a homeless bum. And
Okay.
stuff, and just like want to pick on me. And all of a sudden the supervisor will come up
Who knows you?
who knows me.
Right.
And, hey, Philip.
Hey.
This
How
is-
you doing?
I'm good, I guess.
Yeah, you're good. We're doing an interview, but you're welcome to say hi. We're actually on camera.
Well, I don't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine. Okay, so anyway,
May I
so
sit down?
sure, have a seat. So how do they treat you different? How do they harass you? Has anyone been mean to you, or
Or just like they're trying to be bullies to me.
right?
Well, I stand up to them
Yeah,
because I'm not doing nothing wrong.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden their supervisor will show up and they'll go, I know Mr. Pyle. Get off his ass.
Right. Well, they all know you're a good guy. But anyway, so but one of them got you for open container.
Yeah.
Were you being disorderly? Be honest.
No, I wasn't being disorderly.
No. Okay.
Oh, in fact, what actually happened
Uh huh.
was this guy that we call Birdman.
Is this Teresa Pye?
Or this is Miss Jennifer.
Jennifer.
The one I've been
Jennifer
speaking with
Pye.
you about.
I'm Jennifer. It's nice to meet you.
I'm Phil.
Okay,
And
how you good? We're doing an interview with David for my Talk TV show about the changes that are happening in the St. Petersburg police policy, and you might have some input about it too. I actually think it might be good. So I was going to read it to him. And by the way, this is David Powell. He's a retired Marine veteran. What else, would you like to introduce yourself? I have a lot of respect for this man.
My name is David Lee Pyle, and I'm over 65, and I've watched this country go through a lot of changes. I've witnessed the changes of the guards, and I believe in the civilian police force, because sometimes the police can't always respond, and so you have to have civilian guardian angels to take over when the police cannot respond in time. So therefore, there's a lot of people that do not need to be in jail. But now what's happening with coronavirus stuff, they're letting some very bad people out on the streets that need to be in jail, because I run across them late at night. But I think that marijuana should have been legalized a long time ago.
So with you on that.
And
I can go either way on that one.
and people that don't do anything really wrong, it should not waste the court's time. It's a waste of public funds. It's a waste of the lawyers.
Oh, sure.
And there's so many innocent people that shouldn't even be in back of a cop car. But then now what's happening with this new day and age, and this coronavirus thing, because there are times late at night that I'll work at 7-Eleven here, like taking out the trash, and I run across some very bad people that they let out of jail that need to be in there.
Well, let me tell you what I read today that they're doing. And this is what I wanted your input on. But I want to know how you feel about this, because it kind of directly affects
Can I
you.
interject?
Sure.
I'm gonna go grab a beer, but I'm pretty capable of good conversation.
Okay.
Philip, would you
You
mind
want?
bringing me?
I'll get everybody a beer. Would you like a
I
beer,
don't.
man?
I don't drink, but I appreciate the offer.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So, okay. Well, and I just bumped into David here today at the place. I'm staying at a beach resort hotel right now on Gulf Boulevard in Madeira Beach, where David lives. He's homeless, technically, but lives here, and a lot of people help take care of him and bring him in at night and get him hotel rooms like tonight, or they pitch in together with some money that they've made and get a room here and there. You know, you got to have a good night's sleep and shelter every once in a while. But for the large part, how often would you say you sleep on the street, percentage-wise? If you had to say 100% of the time or 0% of the time? What percentage of the time are you not in a house?
I'd say probably 98% I'm not in the house.
Really?
I sleep in the jungle.
Okay. Well, I've seen you here twice in the last month, so I didn't know you got lucky this month. But, and then somebody took you in last month, I know, for about a week. I know you were helping them around the house, but anyway, so let me tell you how this new law is going to go. So the St. Petersburg Police Department is going to adopt this new policy on October 1st of this year. And what they're doing is, instead of a police officer
Are you a policeman?
responding to a non-violent domestic call, like your open container, for example, in front of Winn-Dixie.
Yeah.
Instead of having a police officer respond to that, they're going to send a social worker.
What does that person
I
do?
believe that's an
Well,
excellent
hang on.
idea.
I want to get David's opinions on this, and give me just a minute with it. So, because this affects him directly, and he's in the middle of a situation, and yes, I'm married to a deputy sheriff, so I'm highly interested in the election and what's going on and everything right now, because I'm backing the new candidate.
Well, you seemed
sheriff.
pretty articulate in your rhetoric about.
A little bit. but he is too, and what he has to say is important, and I want to hear. So I want to tell you what they're proposing. Like I said, is any non-violent domestic situation, which would include most of the homeless situations, they're going to send a social worker. Now, so instead of hiring 25 new police officers this year, they're going to take that money and they're going to give it to social workers, hire social workers, and I'm hoping that they're going to create some programs around this that will help people like you to get your Social Security, which you haven't even gotten yet, but you qualify for, right?
Yeah, I'm over 65, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm an old man now.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're getting ready to be 66 soon, aren't you?
Next January, I'll be 60.
January. Okay, so you're 7 months. You could have been getting benefits, and you haven't been getting them. Do you have a food card?
I just have a Georgia ID and I have a Social Security card.
But you live here, and you don't have an address, so you can't get any of these things.
No.
Okay, see, now that's where a social worker would come in handy in this situation, in my opinion. And I'm not completely for a civilian police force. I do believe there's a lot of reform that needs to happen in these police departments, and I believe they're not being held accountable on a lot of levels. I think their internal investigations department needs to be an outside, civilian informed and overseen department, because that will keep them accountable.
Well, you're intelligent.
But the people like you don't need to be going to jail, and you certainly don't need to be going to court. When are you going to, after tomorrow?
Yeah.
Private container, you're taking your time, and you're actually going to court in the middle of COVID.
Yes.
Are you serious?
As a heart attack, otherwise if I don't, it'll be failure to appear. That'll be another charge.
See?
Damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
So how do you feel about the social worker stepping in instead of the cop? I want to know how you feel about that. What difference will that make for you as a person and in your life?
Ma'am, being homeless and being around some excellent homeless people, that people did not ask to be like this, but that was a deck of cards that just got handed. And some of them are not bum winos. Some of them are actually highly intelligent people.
Oh,
that-
like Dave. Wow.
And then
Yeah.
they just,
Yeah.
they don't have enough money to afford housing. And then me being by myself, I can live on the street by myself. But then I meet females that are helpless because their husbands or their boyfriends got thrown in jail. And then they have to run to me for protection. And I cannot guarantee their safety, but I will do my best.
But I've seen you try. I've seen you help a lot of homeless people out there.
Yes.
Because you know the ropes.
That's
He knows the ropes. And tell me how you feel about Safe Harbor. You've been to Safe Harbor.
I think it sucked.
And that's everything that
I've never even
anybody
heard of
said.
it.
It was like-
What is it good for?
Nothing.
Is it good for dental work? I've heard that you can get done there.
No. When I
Really?
went to Safe Harbor, I thought I could get a social worker. Man, it was worse than being in jail. They threw me out in the concrete with no mattress, no blanket, or nothing. And I'm surrounded by gangbangers.
And you got to stay outside for what, 2 months before you can move in or something like that, right?
Yes. And I go, hell with this.
That's what says everybody
The
leaves.
gate's open, I'm walking out of here.
And then so we have this huge homeless population down here that ends up going back and forth to jail for stupid stuff when they really need a social worker. So
Yeah.
I actually think this might be a good thing if you
Yeah,
really
and,
think about it.
I
What do
think
you
it's an
think?
excellent idea.
What do you think about it?
Give me a definitive, just general question about what?
About the social worker handling something like that.
Oh, I think it's brilliant,
Yeah.
groundbreaking. I think we're wasting way too much of our police officers' time on insignificant little bull crap.
And let me ask you about this. So, you know, we have this huge fentanyl crisis here on the beach. Can you count the number of friends and people that we personally know that have now not just come back from it, but people who
I
died?
can.
People who died in the last year. Can you even count those anymore? Right here on the Deer
I'm
Beach.
losing, I don't have enough fingers to count. And as of recent,
Oh, shit.
I just lost one. And I think
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Hey, is that you, man?
What's up, Phil?
Hey,
How's it
what's
going?
up, my friend?
Pardon us.
How
you
you
doing?
doing, bud? I'm good, man. I
So-
thought you checked out.
And-
Oh no, yeah, I live here pretty much. But how you
Well,
Give
doing?
it just a second.
You know.
Yeah.
'Cause I want to
Alright.
get this.
Fuck me.
But
It's good to see you.
it's good to see you, my
Yeah.
friend. All right.
All right.
Have a good
I
night.
thought you were gone.
So, how many people? Can you even count them anymore? You said you just lost one last week.
yeah,
I know who that was because a friend of mine watched it happen. And you know that friend.
Tennessee.
Tennessee saw it happen.
Tennessee saw it happen.
Yeah, he did. They were on a neighboring boat and they saw him go down and hit his head and they saw the body removed from the boat.
Well,
It was horrible.
I think the heroin
And-
dealers that sold them guys the drugs should be charged with murder.
Yeah, but they're out on the street.
But they're out on the street.
Yeah, and we know who they are. You know who they are, and I know who they are.
I don't buy the shit. I don't know who they are.
Well, you
Well,
know
I
it gets
just-
talked about enough. We know. We
Yeah.
know a little bit about it. We know it shouldn't be there.
Because I don't do the stuff. I have a personal hatred for drugs because it hurts families, and it's not a victimless crime. It breaks hearts. It ruins families, and the drug dealers just make a lot of money.
Well, that's one thing we have in common. No drugs. Me and
Nope.
Dave, we're alcoholics, straight up.
I have a medical marijuana card. I don't drink.
Oh,
and
I don't.
That's what
and I almost don't count marijuana in the drug category.
Me too. It saved my life.
It's
I-
like
do. Yeah.
not even
Like-
something. When I say drugs, I don't throw marijuana.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am,
I'm
do you have
all
an X-ray over here, ma'am? Thank
There
you.
you go.
Um,
So,
I guess
so in,
what
in
I'm saying in essence is that marijuana is a whole
let me
nother
check this real quick.
topic.
Yeah, it is, and I just want to make sure we're still recording.
okay.
Good, we are. Okay. So,
I never knew of
So the
anybody
fentanyl crisis to me seems like something that really these
out of hand.
police
Oh,
officers
and
should
then
be dealing with
the
more
Chinese fentanyl. Okay, there's fentanyl initially, right?
than right.
And then China, like they always do, decided, oh, guess what? We'll create fentanyl, and it'll be better fentanyl, right? There's a fentanyl out there right now that if your heroin or whatever you're injecting is cut with that Chinese fentanyl,
You're
somebody
gone.
ain't got some Narcan around, that's your ass.
Well,
You're out.
I saw somebody go down in front of the bar next to my store. I guess it was about, well, it must have been about a month ago because I was paying my hotel bill that day. Again, anyways, I walked down here from the store, which is only a block away, and I passed this guy, and I saw him sitting there, and I was thinking, you know, he doesn't look too good. I figured he was drinking. But I kept coming down here. I paid my bill, and on the way back, by the time I got back there were ambulances and fire trucks everywhere, and they had to Narcan the guy like 5 times to get him up. And this is happening everywhere, and here we are worried about COVID and everybody, you know, but people, we've lost more people out here to the fentanyl crisis.
Absolutely. And,
Way
and it was
more.
like, hey, you know, fentanyl killing off people hundreds a day. Yeah, no big deal.
And they're busy.
And then we get some little flu virus.
And they're busy taking you to jail for an open container.
Yeah. Yeah,
It doesn't even make sense.
David's drinking a beer. Let's
Oh,
arrest
yeah,
him.
God help everybody.
He's a threat to our
He
environment.
is, isn't he?
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to ask your personal feelings and what else. What do you have anything else to say about the fentanyl crisis and what's going on before I kind of close this out?
I'm
Okay.
going to go get a beer. I got a lot to say about it.
Okay,
You want me
I'll
to?
do you next. I'll interview
okay.
you next.
I'll-
Let's let him
I
finish
will-
it out
I
when
will
you come back.
respectfully shut up.
No, when you come back and David's done, I want to hear from you. Absolutely.
Yeah, I got an
idea
on
All right.
Sometimes I think if it wasn't let out on purpose, like that evil Stephen King book, The Stand, and now I'm wondering if it isn't done on purpose by some kind of undercover government to thin out the population and to control society. And I just think there's some type of evil scheme behind all of it.
Well, what doesn't make sense to me is that the arrests aren't happening for the deaths that we've had out here. I can think of several. Okay, I have a headstone in my store that I need to take to be engraved for one that we had a memorial for out here a few months back, one of the deckhands, you know what I'm talking about. And then there was one that fell into his engine compartment and broke his neck and died.
That was Mikey Dean that did that.
And then
The last
there
one
was
was Jeff Stark.
Yeah, and that happened out on the water, and they had to go out and get it. Well, anyway, those are just 3 of at least a dozen that I know of in the last year, and I know you know of even more.
Well, sometimes late at night, I make my extra beer and cigarette money by working outside the 7-Eleven, taking out trash. But then I run across some very bad people. Very bad people.
Up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And this one character that they keep letting out of prison, who I had to come across the other night. And he confronts me at the pavilion at Archibald's. I'm going, you again, bro? He goes, I don't understand why they keep letting me out of prison. I go, neither
He
do I.
said that?
Pardon?
He said that?
He said that.
That's funny.
And I go, dude, I don't either.
Because I've said the same thing to him. I don't
James
know
guy.
why. Why are you still here? I've said that to him myself. Anyway, no names. Don't say any names
And then
on that one.
I ain't worried about it.
Then
Yeah.
finally, the other night, I had to punch him in his gut
Really?
and just shove him away. I go, dude, if they don't put you in jail, I'm going to do something about you eventually.
If we're talking about the same person, I think I know who you're talking about. But anyway, you said you had a lot to say about this crisis. Do you want to be on camera, or do you want us to just hear your voice?
No, you can put me on camera.
Okay.
I got no
You want to
problem with it.
switch spots with him? Because we
okay.
kind of got that position where
Sure.
I can tell you exactly what I think about it.
I'd like to know, because
Sure.
I'm sure you're familiar with
I'll
it.
you be your neighbor.
Oh, thank you.
Why? Because I'm a decent human being.
I have only met you a few times, but tell me your name again. Or you don't have to. You can be anonymous. It's okay.
No,
So-
no. My name is Phil Phillips. I was born and raised in Polk County.
Okay.
Um,
Grady Judd.
Florida boy. Yes, ma'am. Grady's house.
I like him. I like him.
My sister and brother-in-law actually have him over for dinner on a
Really?
fairly regular basis. Yeah.
That's
there's-
fantastic.
Yeah, wait.
I think the world of him.
Well, it has not had any impact on my life. Okay.
Right. But you grew up there. And,
I am a Polk County, Florida boy.
okay.
Fentanyl. Okay, so here's the deal.
I'm gonna back up so people can see you better. There's a nice headlight shining on us.
So, opioids have been a rampant problem, okay? I don't know how much you can see in this picture. That is a totally titanium elbow,
Okay.
okay? I fell almost 3 stories, hit terminal velocity.
Here. Show me. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the real deal.
I can tell it's definitely.
It's messed
Deformed.
up. It's
Okay.
Well, it's not deformed.
Well, it is. It's not.
Well,
it's not a
it's rebuilt.
rebuild.
It's
Okay.
rebuilt. So here's what happened to me.
I think I left them upstairs. You guys want to?
Here's what happened to me. Like I said, I fell almost 3 stories. I did hit terminal velocity, right? According to quote-unquote experts in the field, I shouldn't have lived, right? That should have been it. Game over.
But yet here you are.
Right, I broke every bone, everyone, on my right side. I covered my head with my elbow. That's why I shattered my elbow.
Wow. They did a good
Right.
job putting it back together. Wow.
Well, the initial orthopedic surgeon was going to amputate it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I sold radiology equipment for a living and had a huge orthopedic surgeon group as one of my accounts, Pinnacle Orthopedics in Atlanta, Georgia. Still there, still around. And I told my wife, get this guy out of my room and get Dr. Deal here. So,
Wow.
significant difference, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, I
Yeah,
never even
yeah.
noticed that before, and I've met you a couple
Yeah,
of
yeah,
times.
yeah. I broke literally everything. Every bone you got.
So naturally, they put you on a.
Yeah. And OxyContin had just, man, it was relatively new to the market. And it was like, oh, this is like the game changer. It, it makes you, it's better than Percocet. It's better than whatever. So what did they give me? OxyContin. And probably overprescribed me. So guess what happens in about 6 months?
You get addicted.
Big time.
It took 6 months for that to happen.
Probably less than that.
Here, I'll see if I can get us a little light here, because that iPad doesn't have one.
I was probably addicted and didn't know it in 3 months.
Let's see here. I hope you have David.
See,
All
okay, so when my bones started healing up, I'm thinking, I don't need medicine anymore. My bones are healing up, my bones.
Right.
And I got I got metal all in me. The orthopedic surgeon said you had terminal velocity. People don't live through that. We're not supposed to be talking, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, anyway. So they put me on these painkillers, right? The Oxycontin mainly. And, yeah, I think I was addicted at probably 3 months in. I had no idea.
Right.
I've never been an opioid user. I've always been a drinker. Love beer. Like,
Okay.
I've drank more Budweiser than... I might as well have pulled a damn wagon. Right? Yeah, so that I'll be completely honest about. Love my Budweiser. Love my cold beer. And drink a shitload of it. But I've never been on any pain pills. Right? So this thing happens, they put me on these pain pills, and man, when that thing gets you, it's like, I know there's a devil, right? That's the only thing I could probably maybe tell you. It's like, he's like, I got you.
Wow.
No, I got you. You're with me now. And you ain't getting out.
No escape.
You are fucked. And he's like, and guess what? If you don't let me in your life every day, every day, every day, you will perish. So guess who owns who now? I own you. Jesus, forget him. God, forget him. You answered me.
So how'd you get away from it, or did you?
Opiate withdrawal is probably the most horrifying. No, definitely. It is absolute hell on earth. How did I do it? I just decided I'm not doing the same thing. I'm not being a slave to this addiction. And how did I do it? I just quit cold turkey, right? And what happens? The withdrawals are, I wouldn't wish it on. I would not wish opiate withdrawals on my worst enemy.
How long did it take?
5 days.
For the worst part?
Well, for the first 3 days, all you do is throw up and shit like a little baby. It's awful. It probably takes a good solid week.
And then what happens after that most people aren't able to stay away from it?
And what I think is that the person that sells that stuff to the person that dies should be charged with murder.
I agree. But what keeps
okay. I'm so physically fucked up, right?
Yeah.
I broke my hip, my sacrum, my pelvis,
You said
all my ribs,
right.
everything, femur, fibula, tibula, ankle, everything. I can't walk.
I can't believe you can walk around. And I've never noticed. Yeah, I see that. I never noticed it before with you walking. I didn't see it.
So it was necessary, right?
I can tell you were in pain.
Yeah, maybe.
But why do people keep going back? You got through that week, and then you're done, and then don't you just think, oh wow, I did it, and you know I can go.
Oh
on
no,
life,
no,
but
no,
that
no,
doesn't
no,
happen.
no. I went back.
Okay, everybody.
I went back.
to.
I went back. I absolutely went back.
Time after time.
They
after time.
no. Long enough for it to be an issue. Oh yeah. Did I get addicted to opiates? Absolutely. Right. So I was able to cut that off. Like, okay, I don't get any prescribed opiates anymore. Right. My doctor is not giving me those anymore.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, and I went through the baby shits and the throwing up and all that.
Did they just cut you off all of a sudden?
Yep.
When they cut everybody off.
Yeah, and then I was like,
But they didn't offer you a way out.
no, they don't wean you off like they should.
Wow.
Which they should.
Yeah.
They should say, hey, this is drastic, dude.
Yeah. Instead, they just turn you loose, and then.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you, bye-bye.
And a lot of people go get heroin off the street, and then people die.
Exactly. Oh, I did.
That's what
I check this out. I ain't worried about it. Yeah. So I found heroin.
Well, see, people need to hear this. They need to know because there's not awareness about this.
Well,
and it needs to change.
Heroin was cheaper.
Yeah.
Than prescription pills. Way cheaper. I have a violently ill problem with needles. I can't even watch somebody else. Okay? Thank God.
Yeah.
But did that stop me from no? Oh Lord, no. I
Because
bought
of
hair.
the pain and the withdrawals. Was it?
Well, it's like a natural. It's a natural thing. You want an opiate? Heroin is a straight opiate.
Well, opiates and
One-
heroin
one-
have the same molecular structure. Did you know that?
Yeah, they hit the same brain receptors.
The same receptors. And the
Yeah.
government created it. So they created
Yes, they did.
illegal heroin
And ma'am,
and got people addicted
And
to
the
it.
Marine Corps, they were going to kill me because I would not snitch. But our own government was making tons of money off the heroin coming out of Vietnam.
Really?
Well,
Yes,
of course they
ma'am.
were. They were stuffing cadavers that were being shipped back.
Yep.
Were you in Vietnam too?
No, ma'am.
No.
No,
I
no,
was
no,
just
no,
curious.
no.
But man,
I was,
look at
I know he was there.
um,
He's told me some stories.
Colonel Oliver North. Look at all the evil corruption.
I am
The cocaine addiction.
what they
Oliver
call
North.
a
Secret agent?
no, no, I'm not.
Were you a secret agent?
I'm what they
You
call.
never know.
I was. My MO is I'm a military consultant.
Okay. And then this happened to even you.
It didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't even slow me down.
Wow.
I healed up. I was like, let's roll.
And you did that on opiates because they were helping you. But they screwed you when they cut you off.
Well, it's just okay. Your body gets trained.
Well, they screwed
Yeah,
you when they
yeah.
put you on them.
Basically, you're an addict. That's it.
They turned you into.
You're an addict.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. You're an addict. And then when your body starts healing up, right? Guess what? still
You're
an
still an
addict. Yeah. That's where they don't give a flying.
You're done healing, they want you off as they cut you off.
Yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, oh you're doing better. Your arm's better. You like your.
Did you ever go to the Suboxone or methadone clinic? No. I've heard horror stories about that too.
No, that's just another crutch.
Yeah, they take people when they do off of that, some of the other stuff. And
It's
they'll put them in that, and they
it's
get
just
addicted
it's
to
a
that.
it's a cottage fucking little industry. It's like, oh, okay, so we got this group of addicts. We won't give you any more opiates, but we'll put you on Suboxone or on methadone. We'll move you over here,
Long as
and then
they're giving
we'll
you
keep
something.
we'll keep you on that for like 6 months or maybe longer. In fact, we'll keep you on that the rest of your life.
As long as you come to the clinic and pay every day.
Right.
Look at the governor of Florida, Rick Scott.
Rick Scott?
Baby,
I wasn't ever a
Dave,
huge
Dave,
fan,
Dave,
but-
Dave, Dave, Dave.
We don't. I'll edit all this. I'll edit all this. I'll
He
protect
made
my
his billions
friend.
of running a pill mill.
DeSantis is our new governor.
Yeah, he's talking about the old governor though being involved.
Oh,
in
Rick Scott. Yeah,
pharmaceuticals.
yeah,
He was
absolutely.
heavily,
Okay, yeah,
and still
absolutely.
is heavily involved
Absolutely.
in pharmaceuticals and
Yeah.
the marijuana industry. Actually, in the kratom, we have found is actually
I
a really
fucking
good
love kratom.
It's a good replacement for opiates, isn't it? Tell me about that.
I will tell you all about kratom.
Okay.
There's 3 strains of kratom. There's white vein kratom, there's green vein kratom, and there's red vein kratom. White strain is and they're indigenous to mainly Southeast Asia, Indonesia. Okay, it's an evergreen tree. It's been around since 1830.
That we know of.
That we
been
know of.
using
That
it.
we know of. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing new.
And what does it do?
Well, white vein kratom will give you a whole lot of energy.
Okay.
Green vein, and when I say vein, okay, it's a leaf, right? So when you look at the veins of the leaf, they're either white, green, or red. Green vein kratom is more of a euphoric property.
Okay.
Overall feeling of well-being and just, euphoria. It still has some energizing properties. White vein kratom is basically going to give you much energy. Okay, and then red vein kratom is mainly for pain and sedation.
Okay. Is that the one people use getting off of opiates the most? Or do they combine them all?
Red vein kratom is by far more popular than the other 2.
Okay. For that purpose, or just in general?
Okay, see, here's how it goes. It's like a genealogy, all right? Or almost like an adult, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a hierarchy, okay? White is youth.
Okay.
Green is middle age. Red is old.
I've heard that it has something to do with how long it ages.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's what you mean.
Most people, the red is sold probably 10 to 1 over the
And it's more potent because it's
older and more mature.
It's aged.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, you
It's
gave me a little more
it's like a
education than I
whiskey.
had about
It's
it.
like a whiskey.
It's
It's
fine
like
with it.
the longer
Well,
it sits, the stronger it gets.
Let me ask you this question. How would you feel as somebody who's been addicted to these things and don't mind talking about it? You understand kratom and you understand Suboxone and methadone, even though you've never done that. What would you think if they took the Suboxone and methadone clinics and they did away with them and they changed them out and they changed it over to kratom and medical marijuana and things like that to help people get off of this stuff.
Well, I would
Would it be
think, okay,
effective?
here's what I would think exactly about that. So we have established a protocol to help people that obviously doesn't work
Yeah,
at all.
obviously.
I
People are
mean,
dying
no,
left and right.
no. It hadn't done shit, right?
Yeah, forget COVID. The opiate crisis is 10 times worse than that.
No, I'm going to answer.
Check the
I'm
numbers.
going to answer your question.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh hell yeah, yeah. Let's definitely try something different because our Band-Aid on this problem so far keeps falling off. It don't work, right?
Yeah.
So what the hell? Let's do something. Let's try something different.
Well,
right?
I know a lot of people who've used kratom to get off of opiates or heroin. In fact, they come into my store and they've asked me, and I've handed people samples just for free, and it's changed their life the same day. And
Kratom is to me, is a game changer.
it definitely has been for a lot of people. And I want to understand more about it, which is why I'm asking you, because
the first time I ever did it, I was like not expecting really anything. I was like, yeah, whatever. It's just some herb, big deal.
Right. Game changer, huh?
Game changer.
I hope you enjoyed today's candid interview with David Pyle and his friend. We'll be bringing more to you in the upcoming weeks. Just to let you know, there is a sheriff's election this November. There are 2 Democratic candidates on the ticket. One has run before as an independent. His name is James McLinnis. He took home 22% of the vote during the last election as an unknown. The new candidate entered the race just over a month ago, probably in order to defeat James McLinnis in a primary. I have not yet researched this candidate, although I do know he is a retired deputy that I believe was pulled from retirement in an effort to simply take James out of the race. I'll let you know more what I think when I dig a little bit further. Again, I hope you enjoyed today's interview, and I hope it was informative. The election is important, and I believe that we need a lot of change in our sheriff's department that has not happened over the last several years, and I hope that you will vote to change it. Thank you, and please feel free to call our 1-833-420-TALK line to leave a recorded message that may be played on the group or included in a future video with your permission. Thank you very much.